securing capital as a startup, especially within the ag tech or from Africa, is a huge challenge. Not just because of the region, but because of the instability of the economic situation of things here and the value of our currency primarily. So one way I solved that challenge was primarily through first focusing on solving a problem that really affects people. Focusing secondly on building a solution with my own finance, and then building traction, and then finally selling those things to potential funders to say, hey, this is what we have done on our own, and this is the traction we've had. If you're interested, we'd like you to join us by supporting our mission with your money.
Well, when we started in 2008, I put like little capital I had in it, and so, but I didn't need so much money because there were free farmland. So I borrowed about 7 plots of land from a farmer, and which he was willing to give to us. And then there are seeds everywhere. You could get corn seed. Very easy to get. We didn't even pay for it. We just got it from farmers, and so that was what we needed. And so I asked these young people if you could bring cutlasses and hoes from your houses, and they did that. So we didn't need extra box, but maybe for transportation, I put little money that I saved. I put that into it. But it was when the thing was becoming big and big that we needed finance, and because of the track record I was building from 2008 to 2013 thereafter, I had pictures, I had stories. A number of local newspapers came to our farm to write our stories. And so when I now began to see that this was something I could really make a bigger thing, and then especially when I got a scholarship, and so all of those things I brought them together, and then I was able to use it to access finance. And so we had a number of NGOs and donor organizations who were ready to support us from 2013. We got some funding from some donors, and then the institute I attended in India gave me the first funding for that. But all this was possible because of the track record, and then because I actually bootstrapped. I started very small, and then I don't know, it was just about passion.
No, we haven't taken any loan ourselves yet. It's really been about bootstrapping. Luckily, I have a great team that's willing to contribute above and beyond what we can pay them at the moment. And so far it has been trying to find even small sources of grant funding that can help us to bootstrap our operations and get past this proof of concept stage so that we can fully run a pilot.
I started it as a registered business in Namibia, which I registered myself, and that costed me like 150 Namibian dollars with the process through the Ministry of Trade, and that was not much because I was working part-time, so I could partly finance that. And then I started off with the small orders and then building up with the clientele.
Several challenges, plenty. So for example, the moment we started talking to an investor about fundraising, well, he expressed interest in putting money in the business. The moment from which he expressed interest to when he actually signed the check was about 9 months. So that alone is a big challenge of finance. Even though there's expression of interest, you still have to be patient, do a lot of due diligence. So it's very challenging. Also for us, where we work is 18 hours from where we live. So we live in Accra, but a lot of the work is in northern Ghana. That is 18 hours by road. So going there that often, it means you have to do a lot of 18 hours in a month by road. So it's that challenge. And that neighborhood is very far from comfort. It's like very remote parts of Ghana. So it's challenging to be an entrepreneur.
So I had this childhood friend who brought on another friend of his, and then that other friend found another innovator, a Nigerian young innovator in the same city in Houston, Texas, that got interested in us. So I had Michael Luagbemi was my childhood friend. He brought on Damilola Agbola, who was his friend in Texas, Houston at the time. And Dami found Idris Bello on a publication online talking about youth innovation. And then Dami and Michael approached Idris, and Idris liked what we were talking about. So that was how I ended up having, we ended up being 4, young Nigerians trying to tackle youth unemployment. And they were the ones that raked in their, earliest capital needs, because they would take out of their disposable income. They were all working back then in the US, take out of their disposable income and send in as equity contribution of some sort, or loan particularly, to the company. And we're forever grateful for it, because we didn't finish paying that loan until about 6 years, 7 years of existence.
When we talk to young people and then they ask us, finance is the key. Yes, I know finance is the key when you're starting any project, but can you start with what you have first? That's the main thing. Because if I was given $1 million in 2008, believe me, I don't know if I will start the project. I might stay on the project because of the passion, but that money will not be put to good use, because I was not experienced. You understand? So bootstrapping helps us to gain experience, the experience we need, and to build some track records. And so I will tell young people, start with what you have, bootstrap, and then gradually you can, when you have those track record, the experience, and then you can reach out to investors, you can reach out to donors. Can you see this model? Is there a way you can support? And that will work.